Yeah, just one more. All right, for everyone who don't know us, let me just tell you, my name's Franklin, and this is my co-star, the Magnificent Chance.
Thanks for a grand intro, big dog. Today we'll tell you about my personal opinion, top 10 greatest movies I've ever seen.
Dang. You know what? People, we might as well just end it there. He didn't tell us what movie it was. He just led us on and then dropped us. You know what? You have to tell us. I'm dying to know now.
Alright, fine. The movie's The Great Dead Poet Society, just the impact of the kid. The teacher having those kids is just so heartwarming to me.
Dang. That was pretty deep, dog.
I
Like,
thought it was too. I just didn't want to say anything.
maybe it was a little poetic also, just a little bit. But I feel that. I mean, but I got to disagree with you there. I think the one thing that really stuck out to me was even though the council was on their back the whole entire time, those kids still found a way to have a voice.
True. Alright, now that we told you our opinion on it, we're going to tell you about it now.
Let's start at the beginning. When the kids came back from summer break, all of the kids were the same kids, except there was one new kid. His name was Todd. Now Todd, he was a quiet kid, like any other new kid that's gonna come to a school. He went up to his room, met his roommate Neil. Neil, on the other hand, wasn't so quiet. He knew almost everybody in that school. Now, Neil, being how he knows almost everybody, he introduces Todd to some of his friends. And when Todd hears about all of those kids, he thinks all of his classes are going to be like just any other regular normal core class. He goes up to his last core class, the poetic class, the literature class. The teacher, Mr. Keating, he finally realized this class isn't as normal as everybody makes it sound to be. The teacher makes him stand on his desk at that, to get a different perspective of other things, like life.
Doing this makes some of the kids think about approaching other situations differently. One of the kids named Knox found one of Mr. Keating's old class books, and that's about Dead Poet Society. Mr. Keating being the good teacher, good guy that he is, he tells them about it. So the kids decide they were created. Then Neil decides he wants to join a play. His father does not approve at all. He's full down.
They're like, that dude did
He's
not
not
like it. But even with Neil's father's disapproval, Neil still does the play. On the day of the play, Neil's father comes. But he doesn't come at the beginning, and he doesn't come at the middle. He waits till the end of the play. The end of the play, when everybody's just wrapping up, having fun, talking about how good they did, his father drags Neil away. And when he dragged him away later on that night, he ended up telling him, he pretty much threatened him with this. I'll be enrolling you in a military academy.
Later on that night, Neil kills himself, and the news gets back to the school and council, and they try to blame Mr. Keating. The council makes all the new kids, Dead Poet Society, sign a sheet saying that Mr. Keating put all the ideas in their head.
Now, not only did the council make them say that Mr. Keating put all the ideas in their heads, he tried to put this on the kids, saying that if they didn't do this, then there would be repercussions for their actions, which they weren't doing anything wrong, honestly. Now, the council fires Mr. Keating, and then at the end of it, Mr. Keating comes back to get all of his belongings. Then Todd, you remember, right? The new kid, the one that was in his cell, quiet as could be, honestly, takes a stand on his desk. This time it wasn't the captain's desk, but then he refers to Mr. Keating as, "Oh, Captain, my captain." Then the whole entire class, except for maybe the three kids that were afraid of what might happen with their repercussions, did not take a stand. But to signify that even though Mr. Keating's thing was, as I say, unorthodox, it still did its job. They showed that being as how they didn't have a voice at the beginning where they had to go through everybody else's stuff, they had their own voice, their own reason for doing whatever they wanted to at that time. Now, I think that's real good on their half.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't Mr. Keating's fault. Mr. Keating didn't put those ideas in their head.
I really like in this movie how one person had such an impact on so many kids' life, which makes me really think, like.
Yeah, I mean,
but anyway, I rate this movie a 9.5 out of 10.
I'm not gonna give it that high, but I'm gonna give it about an 8.5, an 8.5.
The reason why it's 9.5 and not like a full-blown 10 is because like during some of the scenes throughout the movie, it's kind of like boring, kind of slow.
Yeah, it did get a little boring at some points, but through those boring points, there were a bunch of highlights. So I'm thinking that's where you got your 9 from. Thank you for watching.